religious teachings. Number 3, divisions of Jainism. Number 4, Jain festivals and holidays. Number 5, Jainism today. Introduction. Jainism was emerged as a challenge to the Vedic religion. Vedic religion started from the Brahmanism to the Hinduism. Especially Jainism is emerged against the Hinduism. Jainism is an ascetic religion of India. Jainism teaches the immortality of the soul and the pilgrimage of the soul. And Jainism denies the existence of the Supreme Being and emphasizes the non-violence. Non-violence is the first teachings. And Jainism is probably earlier than the Buddhism. This map shows the location or the emerging of Jainism. Red arrow represent the location of Jainism. The exact place where Jainism started is not confirmed, but India is mostly commonly referred as the place of the origins. Today, Jainism was at various times found all over South Asia through Sri Lanka, what are now Pakistan, Bangladesh, Burma, and Afghanistan. Jainism started out in the 6th century before Common Era as a protest against the overdeveloped rituals of Hinduism. The actual date is still questioned, but it is believed that Jainism started no earlier than 550 before Common Era. What is Jainism? Jainism teaches that the way to liberations and bliss is to live the lives of harmonies for non-violence and the renunciation or renunciation of all the pleasure. Jains are followers of Zina. Jains is believers to the Jainism. Zina, followers of Zina. What is the meaning of Zina? Zina is a Sanskrit language meaning that translated into English, that the conqueror, self-conqueror, or spiritual conqueror is referred as a Jina. A Jina means the one who has conquered the inner enemies, conquered the inner enemies such as anger, ego, deceit. These inner enemies arise out of attachment according to the Jain's scriptures. These inner enemies, anguish, will arise out of individuals' attachment. These inner enemies leads to the greed, pride, aversions, also leads to deceit and anger. Jainism is a religion of self-help without any outside agencies, such as even God cannot rescue the individual's soul. The soul, individual's soul, is its own destroyer or own liberator. Founders of the Jainism there are 24 three tangaras or three thankaras. Three thankaras translated into English, the fourth maker. It means the great teacher. Going back countless thousands of years before the recorded history, the Jains call the present age, there has been 24 three tankaras. These tankaras appears in the world. Tankaras. In Western schools meaning prophet. Similarly, tankaras appear in the world in order to teach the way to moksha or liberations. One such three tankaras was Mahavira. Mahavira, translated into English, Maha means a great. Vira means the man or the hero. Jains regarded Mahavira as the man who gave 24 Tirthankara, who gave the Jainism is a present form. Mahavira was a reformer of ancient Jainism and shaped the present form of Jainism. Therefore, Jains think the 21st Tirthankara Mahavira as a founder of the Jainism. He lived in Bihar, northeast India. He lived 30 years as a student of Jainism, lived 12 years as an ascetic, renounced 80 persons, lived 30 years as a spiritual teacher, 3 Thankras, and he died at the age of 72. Mahavira established the Jains community of 14,000 monks and 36,000 nuns before he died. One more, historians consider the Jainism to have been founded by Mahavira as a reaction to the conservative Brahmanism of the 6th century before Common Era. In general, Jains do not accept the Hindu scriptures or did not accept Hindu rituals, but Jains do share a belief in the transmigration of the souls. The most obvious characteristics of them is their devotion to the principle of ahimsa. Ahimsa. Sanskrit language ahimsa, translated into English as a non-injury, non-violence. These are first characteristics of the Jainism, non-violence. The goal of Jainism is to become a Jina. I told you, a Jina is a conqueror, self-conqueror. Conquer the inner enemies. That is the goal of the Jainism. Everybody become a Jina by the meditating, ascetic, blah blah. According to the Jain scriptures, we can all become the gods, but these gods do not intervene or do not respond to the petitionary prayer. Jains believe 24 Tirthankaras appear in every half cycle. 24 Tirthankara, especially Mahavira, is the 24th Tirthankara in this cycle. As a contemporary of Buddha, Mahavira renounced the world at the age of 30, and after 12 years as a wandering ascetic achieved enlightenment. And then we have converted 12 disciples, 12 students. These 12 disciple structures his teaching, Miyaura's teaching into the Jain scriptures. Jain scriptures, agnosis, 34 agnosis, okay? 12 disciples structures Miyaura's teaching into the 34 agamis. These 34 agamis is referred as Jain's scriptures, rather. Mihavira died in meditations and became the liberated soul. The bottom picture shows 24 Tirthankras. This slide shows the timeline of world religion, main religions. According to this timeline, Jainism is firmly established by Mihavira in 557 before Common Era. Okay? The life of Mihavira. Please see the textbook 30 page 35. I summarized the textbook into this slide. The origins of Jainism not precisely known, but Mihavira has traditionally has been identified as is found in Orthodox Jainism. Mihavira is only the last in a group of founders called the Tirthankara. Tirthankara are believed to have built the bridge port between this life and nirvana, just like heaven in the Christian concept. Left of picture shows the Mihavira's sculpture located at Madurai, India. Madurai located in a certain part of the India. The reported details of the life of Mihavira are similar to the life of the Buddha. Mihavira's life is similar to the Buddha. Mihavira was originally born as in the name of Vardhamena on March 30, 599 before Common Era, into the royal Jain family in Bihar, India. Jain family. The bottom map shows the location of Bihar in India. The red area represents the birthplace of Mahavira. Northeast in India, northeast of India. Mahavira was a prince. Therefore, Mahavira was a member of Kshatriya, warrior caste. The family was wealthy and lived in luxury. Mahavira married and had a daughter, but felt unhappy and sought a religious answer. Mahavira joined the ascetic order, but did not find what he wanted. Ascetic means refrain from the pleasure, refrain from the luxury, okay, living. When the prince Bharadamana turned at the age of 30, not long after the death of the both his parents, he left the royal places in order to live the life of the ascetic. Ascetic is a person who renounces, refrains all worldly pleasure and comforts. At the age of 30, Mahavira renounced all his wealth, property, wife, family, and pleasures. He spent 12.5 years for fasting and meditations. After the 12.5 years of meditations, he attained the enlightenment. What is the meaning of enlightenment? Enlightenment means the perfect, absolute knowledge. After 12 years of asceticism, he achieved the release, moksha. Moksha is translated into English meaning the release. Release from inner enemies such as anger, ego, deceit, selfish. Release from all attachment. And Mahavira became known his followers as the Jina conqueror. Jina conqueror, Tirthankaras, same meaning. After the final period of intensive fasting, he attained nirvana, absolute bliss. Nirvana. Similar concept of Christian is a heaven, okay? And moksha, release from samsara. I tell you this, the difficult concept in subsequent slide in detail. And he came to believe that one must also practice ahimsa, non-violence, in order to find release, in order to find the moksha. Example, Mihabhira strained his water and swept the path in front of him in order to avoid harming any life. Even insect has so therefore nobody, no Jain, harm the insect. Okay? In order to avoid harming any life, that might potentially be there in front of the Mihabhira. Therefore, he swept the path. Mihabhira shaped the present form of the Jainism. Because he did not want to become attached to the people, or do not want to become attached to the things. He did not stay anywhere more than one night. Mihabhira took off crosses except for a cross around his shoulder. It means that he lived almost naked persons. He tore out hair in 5 handfuls. He vowed to neglect his body and suffer all pain. Eventually, he gave up his crosses too. He gave his crosses to someone else who need his crosses. He went out naked. So harsh, punishing crime. Mihabhira went about naked that the traditional Orthodox Jainism, according to the Orthodox Jainism division, said the monk went out naked. Okay? Okay, key figures in Jainism. These 4 features shows the key figures in Jainism. Left picture shows the image of 24 Tirthankras. Right up pictures shows the Mihabhira on lion throne. Right bottom pictures shows the Mihabhira pictures. Middle bottom picture shows the Mihabhira statues. Okay. Key figures in Jainism. Most important figure is Mihabhira, 24 Tirthankras. His life and teaching were dedicated to the art of the ahimsa, non-violence. This ahimsa is a central belief of Jainism. The 21st great philosopher and politicians, Mahatma Gandhi, is a followers of the Jainism. Mahatma Gandhi practiced ahimsa, non-violence, according to this Jainism. Mihavira grew up in India where Hinduism was the dominant religion. Vedic cultures was the dominant cultures. Therefore, Mihavira accept the aspect of the Hinduism. But he felt that some changes are needed to be made. That is the Jainism. Jainism built up the Jain churches and laid such a firm foundations for it, and these foundations existed almost unchanged for more than 25 centuries. Therefore, Jains call Mihavira as a founder of the Jainism. Basic philosophies of the Jainism. Jainism believed in Godhood, but did not believe God to be the first causes. God is not a creator, not a preserver, not a destroyer of the universes. God does not furnish or reward. Each person is responsible for improving the life by oneself and endeavor. Every person is capable of achieving the Godhood. All living beings have souls, and all living beings are equal. All life is sacred. Therefore, living in peace and living in harmony is essential equality. The elimination of our karma is the path to liberations and achievement of Godhood. And ultimate goal of our life is to free from all karma. What is the karma? What is the karma theory? Karma is a principles that governs the succession of life cycle, life cycle, births, life, and death. The theory of karma is founded on the simple law of cause and effect. Relationship between cause and effect. What we experience now, today, is a result of our own past actions. And our future is the function of our own today's choices and making. Karma is a natural, moral law of the universes. There are two types of karma: destructive karma and non-destructive karma. Each type of karma contains several subcategories. Karma theory explains the role that karma plays in our lives, how we accumulated the karma, and how we get rid of that karma. I told you the goal of Jainism is to liberate one's soul. Liberated one's soul is to become a Jina. Jina means conqueror of inner enemies. To become this sinner, one must escape the karma by living an ascetic life and intrinsically pure life. Karma can be avoided in two ways. First way, by behaving well, we can avoid the karma. By being well, no karma is attractive to the individual persons. Second way is by having the right mental state, so that even if an action attracts the karma, the correct mental attitude of being means that karma doesn't stick. Karma doesn't stick to our soul. That is the two ways to avoid and removing the karma. The karma that built up on the soul can be removed by living life according to the Jain's 5 vows. I told you the Jain's 5 vows in subsequent slide. This slide shows the different view about the life cycle between the Western school and Eastern school. Western school focus on the linear nature of life cycle. However, Eastern schools focus on cycling nature of life cycle. Okay. The teachings of the Jainism. Please see the textbook page 35. First teaching is a perpetual reincarnations. Perpetual reincarnations. Jainism views life in terms of endless rebirths. People are born, live out their lives, and are born again, reborn. As soon as a person dies, his or her soul is immediately reborn in another life form, even animal, even higher caste. Second, Jainism view people as bound to life because of the karma they acquire during the life. People trapped in the cycle of births. People reincarnated because of the karma of previous lives. If people can escape these old karmas, they will be reborn as a Sinda. Sinda is a Sanskrit language, meaning liberated soul. Okay? If people can escape all karma, they will be reborn as a liberated soul cinder in the highest level of heaven, where they will be eternally happy and eternally separated from the world. That is called as a state of nirvana, just like heaven in the Christian concept. Okay, number 2, Jainism, dualism. Dualism is a philosophical worldview of Jainism. According to the Jainism's dualism, the world is composed of two substances. Two substances are soul and matter. Soul referred as a jiva, matter referred as ajiva. A soul is a good, pure, eternal, never died. However, matter is very bad, impure, and temporary, dies. Soul is perpetual, never die. However, matter, temporary, dies. People are seen as a soul. People is considered as a soul that is encased in the matter, body. Soul is encased in the body, in the matter. Matter clings to the soul because of the past action karma. Asceticism cleans this soul of the karma. The release from this cycle of life, death, and rebirths of the soul must be achieved only by individual persons. Ascetic life, meditations, and salvations. Salvations come from one's work and release. Only the individual person can accomplish the release of his or her soul from the flesh, from the body, from the matter. The soul can be freed only by the actions of an individual, and the individual person cannot receive outside help. Even God cannot help the individual persons. Pre-actions. Therefore, the gods are not very important. In the Jainism, the prayer and worship are useless because God cannot help the people according to the Jain scriptures. Jain monks. Jain monk represent the ideal life of a Jain. The monk must take 5 vows to guide their lives. First vow is ahimsa, non-violence, non-injury of other life. Second vow, always speak the truth, not lie. Third vow, refrain from taking anything. Refrain from taking anything that is not given to you. You can use only your things. Not interfere with other people's things. Number 4, vows. Denounce sexual pleasure. Number 5, denounce all attachment, including family and all possession. Denounce your all possessions, mostly in naked. Denounce all your attachment. The belief in the non-injury of life, the belief in ahimsa is taken very, very seriously. Jains are vegetarians. Make a great effort to avoid any animal products. Jain monks, following the Mahavira's example, sweep the path in front of them in order to avoid inadvertently injuring the insect on the ground. Jains strain their water, separate their water in order to avoid harming any life in the water. Generally, all Jains seek to follow the first 3 vows as closely as possible. The scriptures of Jains are called the agamas and siddhantas. Agamas is a collection of teaching of Mahavira. There are 34 textbooks of the agamas. The Orthodox Jains believe that these Mahavira's sermons are the actual teaching of the Mahavira. Agamas is a collection of Mahavira's teaching. These agamas, orally combined by his 12 disciples into various sutras. Sutra means a textbook. Okay? Sutra in Sanskrit language. Sutra. Translate into English meaning the textbook. Agamas composed of the 34 textbooks. Orally passed from the teachers to the disciples for several centuries. Siddhanta is another Jain scriptures. Siddhanta composed and compiled during 1,000 years between the death of Mahavira and the Balavis Council in 5th century Common Era. Siddhanta composed of 45 volumes. Siddha means liberated soul who destroyed all karma and obtained the moksha. Okay. 11 angers is 34 agamas textbook consists of the 4 parts. First part is angers. Angers consist of the 11 textbook. 11 textbook consist of book of conduct, book of critique. Symbols of Zionism. This symbol was adapted by all the sects of Zionism, all the division of Zionism, in honor of 2500th anniversary of Lord Mihavila's spiritual liberations. The outline of this picture represents the universe in Jain descriptions. Within the outline of this picture, you can see the swastika. Rather, the Nazi used this swastika as a symbol of Nazism. Swastika, black color swastika, represented the soul, in which the soul can be born and be incarnated into during the life, during the time it is in the universes. Okay, the swastika represents the soul. This soul reborn and reborn again until the achievement of the moksha. Okay, there are three dots above the swastika. These three dots represent the right path, right knowledge, right conduct. These three dots are three jewels of Jain philosophy, in which they believe liberations can be found. Half moon above the swastika. Half moon is where the liberated soul is being kept, and that within the half moon, inside of the half moon, is a liberated pure soul. The hand below the swastika is a gesture of the blessing and protections. Inside the hand, there is a wheel of 24 spokes. These represented 24 Tritangas. In the middle of the wheel, a word is written. You cannot see the written, but if you see this written, then the written say that the asimsa is inscribed in the middle of this wheel. Okay. Basic tenet. There is no creator, no sustainer or destroyer of the universe. There is no supreme power. Everything is eternal. There is no all-powerful God that has created the world. Every living being has potential to become God. There is no beginning. There is no end of the universes. The universes run on autopilot on 5 things. 5 things are time, inherent nature, destiny, karma, and self-efforts. There is a life after death, and after life is dependent upon your karma during your life. Every action of mind and speech or body resulted in the bondage of karma to the soul. The karma clings to the soul. Soul is bounded with the karma from eternity. Until the soul is free of karma bondage, there will be no liberation of moksha. Liberation or moksha. If you clean all your karma bondage, then you can achieve the moksha and liberations. Okay? One must suffer or enjoy the consequences of bound karma, or must get rid of their karma by austerity, penances, or other desirable things. Therefore, our effort should be directed toward not getting new karma and to get rid of already bound karma. The root of all misery, the root cause of all your unhappy, all of your anguish, is come from your desire created your inner enemies. Therefore, conquer your desire by your own effort in order to attain the liberations. Five principles, one more, proper conduct. Jains encourages to make a vow to conduct themselves according to the following five principles. Non-violence, ahimsa. Truthfulness, be truthful in everything, tell the truth, do not lie. Number 3, non-stealing. Deal honestly with people. Do not steal other people's property. Number 4, celibate, single life. Number 5, non-possession. The monk and nuns follow these 5 principles in order to the fullest possible, while layperson follow these principles with several well-defined exceptions. Monks and nuns must follow these 5 principles. However, ordinary people cannot follow these 5 principally strictly. Okay? Ordinary people follow these principles with several well-defined exceptions. However, 3 principles, even lay ordinary people or ordinary Jains must follow the 3 principles. However, number 4, number 5 principle can be modified to the ordinary believers. Jainism prescribed the simple paths to liberations. Simple 3 paths include right faces, right knowledge, right conduct. What is right faces? There is no soul. The soul is eternal. It cannot be created. The noble, translated into English, the new. The soul is eternal. He cannot be created as a new, nor can be destroyed. It's a matter, bad, temporary, will die. But my soul is trapped with my body, located within my body. My soul is eternal. Okay? I think my soul is my God. Each living being has a soul. The God is a fully enlightened soul. Therefore, each soul is capable of becoming the God. What is the right knowledge? Desire created all my sufferings. Desire is the root causes of all my sufferings. James' teaching is the true knowledge. True knowledge guides us the path to the liberations from all my inner enemies. Only way to achieve everlasting peace is to free the soul from the bondage of the karma. What is the right conduct? Non-possessiveness is a right conduct. Non-possessiveness is a due to desire. Desire create the possession. Desire to have any tangible things, desire to have any intangible things is possessiveness. Failure to gain what is desire is a root cause, primary cause of unhappiness, and the primary causes of misery. The elimination of this desire is the ultimate step in attaining the liberations from our enemies. Theory of multi-view point. There could always be an element of truth in any statement. These elements of truth statement depends on how one people look at it. Therefore, these help create a mutual respect, expand our knowledge, helps us understand other side of the coin. every living being, no matter how small, even the living of the insect, the loves is existence and fears the deaths. Every being, living being, loves is existence and fears the deaths. Therefore, respecting their views is the ultimate application of the theory among many others. However, the whole truth and absolute truth is only known by the Zena. Zena is a conqueror, spiritual conqueror. Tirthankras, absolute truth is known only by Zena, and the one who has attained omniscience and taught us the truth learned by the Zena. Who is God? We call Tirthankara as our God. Tirthankara is one who has attained the moksha and taught us the path to the liberations. Tirthankara was born as an ordinary human being just like any one of us. However, upon attaining the liberation, Tirthankara now existed as a poor soul who does not have any desire, who does not have any love or hatred, and therefore Tirthankara cannot help us or hurt us. This slide shows the different view about the soul between the Western school and the Jainism. Western school say that the soul is external. External God is existing. However, Jainism Hello? Hello? What? Jainism told that the soul is internal. Only internal God are existing. Western school, external God is existing. Different view about the soul. This slide shows the different core belief between the Western school and Eastern school. Under the Western schools, external God control you. Religion, philosophy, science separated. Linear nature of life and death. As is so you live on the judgment day. However, according to the Eastern schools, God is soul within you. Religion and philosophy are intertwined. Clinical nature, a cycling nature of life and death. and karma determines your next run. Jainism teaches about ecology, non-possessiveness, and self-restraint is the second most important Jain's principles. The minimizing consumption provides respect for others' life and environment. The Jains reduce the need and wants, reduce the wants as much as possible. The Jains reuse, recycle the products. Do not waste the gift of the nature. The nature provides enough for our need, but not enough for our greed. Therefore, share our resources. Jainism focuses on environmentalism. This slide shows the ancient Jain scripture aphorism. According to the Tathagata Sutra, sutra means scripture or the sacred textbook. These 2,000-year-old scriptures say that help each other. All life is bound together by mutual support and by mutual interdependencies. Environment is imbued in every living being. Therefore, if we harm one, it means that we harm all living beings. This ancient Jain scripture aphorism forms the basis of modern day science of the ecology. Jain said, division of the Jainism. In ancient times, the Jains became divided over the true meaning of Jainism. Two divisions was developed. First division, September, Sanskrit language, translated into English, it means that white clad. Clad means dressed. White dressed Jains is referred as a September. September are liberal in their interpretations of Mahavira's teachings. They protest that external signs, such as the clothing, are not important. They view Mahavira's decision as an option, but not the requirements. This division allows women into the religion and into monasteries, and believe that women also can find release. Another section believe that women cannot find release. However, this division believes that women can find release. Some wear face masks in order to protect minute life forms from the harm. This slide shows the white-clad monks, and the right picture shows the September's moons. That's the picture, white-clad monks. Second division of Jainism is Digambara. Digambara means sky-clad. Digambara are more conservative. Digambara requires near nudity for monks, just like the 21st Tirthankara Mahaviras. Okay? Digambara are conservative reading of Agamas, Jain's scriptures, just like the Bible. Conservative reading of Jainism, Bible, Agamas. All possession, including clothing, are hindrances to the liberations. Therefore, do not cross. Total nudity is reserved for the most holy. They believe that women have no chances of achieving release, so women are regarded as the greatest temptations to the man. Women are forbidden to enter the temples and to enter the monasteries. Digambaras refused to believe that Mahavira was never married. A right picture shows the Digambaras monk. The only object a Digambaras monk is allowed to carry are only the water pot and pry whisk of peacock feathers. Vagabond. Raise Jainism, non-monastery. Householders can marry, have children, a simple life, live a simple life. Raise James, live a simple life, but not ascetic. They may take temporary monastic vows, modified vow to guide life in this world. Modified vows are 5 verses, 7 more. They maintain vegan diet. They do not expect to achieve the moksha in this life. Bottom 3 pictures show the lay Jainism. They can marry, have children, they pray in the woman prayer. Woman is allowed enter into the temple and pray. And the right picture shows the pilgrimage of the sacred site of Jainism. Okay, Jainism, religious practices. Jains made pilgrimage to the sacred side that is related to the lives of Tirthankaras. Jains commune with their deities by worshipping in temples, by meditating, chanting mantras, and anointing 24 images of the Tirthankaras. Jains also pay respect, harmony to all genus, and they observe the holy days and the festivals of the Jainism, such as the Mahavira, Jayanti, Parishana, Parva, and Diwali. Mahavira, Jayanti, commemorating the birth of the Mahavira. Parishana is a festival, popular festival of fasting and forgiveness. Diwali festival commemorating the liberation of or death of Mahavira. Bottom 4 pictures shows the Jain's religious practices. Jain festival. Jain festivals, please see in the page 36 of the textbook. Jain's festivals are connected with the 5 major events in the life of Tirthankaras. 5 major events includes entering the womb, birth of Tirthankaras, and renunciation of life, attainment of great knowledge, and 5 major events are the final release from this life. Mahavira's birthday is celebrated in early April. Parishuna is a celebration of spiritual awareness. This festival comes at the end of the Jain year, usually in August or September. This is the most popular festival. During this festival, Jains fast and attend the worship over 8 days. Jain laity encourages to live just like as a monk for the 24 hours period. At its conclusions, Jains perform the act of penances and seek the forgiveness. Diwali, Happy New Year. Jains have appropriated Hindu festival of Diwali, which Diwali is a celebration in November. Instead of worshipping the goddess Kali, Jains use this Diwali holiday in order to remember the liberation of the Mahavira by writing of lamps. In addition to this holiday, Jains also fast at each full moon and make the pilgrimage to Bali's holy site. This 8 pictures shows the Jain temples. The idols of 24 Tirthankras are the same because these 24 idols represent the quality and virtues of the Tirthankras, not the physical body. A unique symbol at the bottom of each idol differentiates them. Okay, summary of Jainism. Every living being is an individual, has a soul, and has a potential to become a liberated or God or liberation. The soul remains in moksha forever and never loses its identity. The principle governing the succession of life cycle is a karma, birth, right, and death. Our ignorance or intention behind our action of a body, mind, and speech is the cause of the karma that is bondage to the soul. The path of liberation is to follow the three vows: right perceptions, right knowledges, right conduct. Desire created all the suffering. Therefore, conquer your inner desire by your own effort in order to attain the liberation, attain the moksha. Purifications, penances, austerity, and meditations are essential for right conduct. Non-violence in thought, non-violence in speech and action is the foremost principle of Jainism to be followed. One must seize the enduring sentient creatures, even small insect. Law of karma dictate what we are experiencing now, the result of our past actions. The law of karma that defines as a principle of cause and effect. The law of karma also raised before us positive future directions about our own choices and making. Only we are individual persons are responsible for our past, present, and future, and only we can change it. No one can change it. Even God cannot change it. Unique features of Jainism. Jainism's ideas of compassion and non-possessiveness build a strong sense of social services, mutual love, and respect. No war was ever waged to convert or coerce. Therefore, very peaceful relations and equality of women in the society, in the religions, interdependence from priestly dominations. Jainism the most eco-friendly and peace-living and peace-loving religions. Jainism told that you rest your power in your hand, not in the superpower, by making you responsible for your own deed, for your own conduct. Similarities with Buddhism. There are Buddhism and Jainism were emerged at the same time against the Hinduism, Vedic cultures. Therefore, there are too many similarities between the Buddhism and Jainism. The similarities are as follows: tolerant other religions, karma, concept of karma, India, around the same time, same background story for founders and profit, social equality, nirvana, liberations, non-violence are the similar concept between the Buddhism and the Jainism. A profound truth of all times. Lord Mahavir told that one who neglect or disregard the existence of the earth, disregard the existence air, fire, water, vegetations, that people disregard his own existence. But this, the existence of earth, air, fire, water, vegetations are intervened with them, with their soul. But respect this existence of earth, air, fire, water, and vegetation. Below, two bottom pictures shows Mahavira, a Jain temple. Left picture shows the Mahavira Jain temple located in the ocean, India. Right, the picture shows the Jain temple in Calcutta, in India. Okay, Jainism in the 21st century. Although Jainism and its focus on asceticism were very popular at one time, it is now a minority religion. As of early 21st century, there are 4.5 million followers, believers, and there are fewer than 6,000 Jain monks. Most Jains are lay persons and practice rituals. Most Jains practice rituals in their homes and individual meditations. Most Jains live in urban areas in Western India with a smaller population in Canada, United Kingdom, and United States. Jainism has been an influence for the Indian culture for over 500 years, and has contributed to Indian philosophy and logic, art, architecture, mathematics, astronomy, and astrology, and literature. Jainism cultures possibly influenced the religion of Buddhism today, and Jainism influenced the great Hindu Muhammad Gandhi. Because of their belief in the sacredness of life, Jains are forbidden from entering certain occupations. The doctrine of ahimsa, non-violence, leads the Jains to refuse the careers as the soldiers, butchers, leader workers, and pharmacists. Jains tend to work in commercial professions and are respected for honesty in business. Even though it is not well known, Jainism has affected the spiritual development of the world. This picture shows the famous Palitana Temple. Palitana Temple is located in Satrayana Hill by the city of Palitana in India. This Palitana temple is the most important of the Jain sacred site in India. Right map shows the location of the Palitana temple. Okay. Okay, this picture shows the Jain crystal temple of Jaisalmer. Jaisalmer Port has 7 gorgeous Jain temples. These Jaisalmer's 7 temples were intact from invasions and destructions over the last 800 years. This slide shows Dwara temples. Dwara temple is one of the most beautiful Jain temples in the world. It's magnificently carved statues, very famous. Okay, it is built about 20th century. This slide shows Lakshmina's temple in Jaisalmer, located in the city of Jaisalmer. Lakshmina's temple of Jaisalmer was built in 1494, and this temple is dedicated to Hindu god Vishnu and goddess Lakshmi. And this Lakshmina's temple is one of the oldest temples in the city of Jaisalmer.